You see the stories every day. A solo developer builds an AI tool over the weekend, goes viral, and suddenly scales to a massive valuation. The hard data tells a different story. The vast majority of bootstrapped apps never reach profitability, and most of these lines break before they ever cross $1,000 in monthly revenue. Mainstream startup culture operates on the founder delusion, the belief that a software product must achieve viral scale before it generates any revenue. A 2026 research report proposes a different path, detailing 10 zero-cost micro-SaaS ideas engineered to bypass the hyper-growth model. Code on a server is not a business. To build a sustainable livelihood without taking on venture capital, a solo founder has to stop selling to a massive consumer audience and redefine who the customer actually is. Financial independence becomes a calculation of high-value conversions, finding exactly 34 clients willing to pay $150 a month. The technical foundation making this possible is what the report calls the super individual stack. We've reached a convergence point where one developer can string together free tier services to build a production-ready application that used to require an entire engineering team. This modern architecture rests on 3 pillars: Vercel for front-end hosting, Supabase for back-end infrastructure, and Groq for high-speed AI inference. The critical economic constraint binding the stack together is the price. To eliminate risk, deployment at inception costs absolute zero. When your server costs are nothing, the math to reach a comfortable living changes. Reaching $5,000 in monthly revenue is achieved by securing those 34 specific high-value clients. Financial independence for a developer is no longer a question of mass user acquisition. It is a strict mathematical exercise in finding exactly 34 high-value conversions. To find those conversions, an idea must survive a 3-tiered evaluation funnel: automate a niche workflow, output a B2B deliverable, and run exclusively on the free stack. We can dump all 10 micro-SaaS concepts into this model to see what survives. Take the Indie Hacker Blog Writer, an automated tool generating publish-ready articles. It evaporates immediately. The target audience is notoriously reluctant to pay, and generating long-form text requires heavy friction from self-hosting open-source models. It fails. Next is the esports team analyzer. It processes game replay data using database vector embeddings to calculate win probabilities, but it dissolves at the second tier. The total addressable market is dangerously narrow, and sports coaching staff have historically high sales resistance. A technically impressive product is functionally useless to a solo founder if the target customer lacks the purchasing power to keep the lights on. Let's look at a highly promising candidate that makes it further down the funnel: the academic researcher's copilot. It passes the technical feasibility test perfectly. By routing through Groq, the tool performs nuanced semantic analysis on academic papers to find collaborators and rants within the free tier. But there is a hidden economic trap. The end user operates inside a university ecosystem, heavily dependent on slow-moving bureaucratic grant approvals that take months to clear. We eliminate it. A bootstrapped founder cannot wait 6 months for an invoice to clear. They need immediate transactional cash flow to eventually upgrade their server capacity once the free tier limits hit. To survive without outside funding, you must build tools for industries where the end client feels immediate, calculable financial pain that your output instantly resolves. The concept that clears every tier of the funnel operates with surgical precision to solve a highly unglamorous, specific physical problem. It is the restaurant menu item profitability calculator. For a restaurant owner, wasted physical inventory represents a more immediate threat to the bottom line than ineffective digital marketing. The app uses advanced language models to interpret unstructured text from menu descriptions, correlating it directly with numerical ingredient costs to instantly identify high-margin items and suggest optimal pricing. This diagram maps a bifurcated value chain. The developer sells access for $39 a month to a freelance consultant, who then uses the automated output to charge a local restaurant hundreds of dollars for a menu audit. By equipping a middleman to handle the local outreach, the developer avoids the friction of selling directly to a stressed business owner. This is a reference list of actual 2026 developer documentation, confirming that these exact infrastructure options are legitimate and actively deployed today. The architecture to run the menu calculator is straightforward. Vercel hosts the front end, Groq handles the AI inference, and Resend manages automated email reports. But relying on Supabase's free tier for the backend exposes a hard ceiling. The platform caps free projects at 50,000 monthly active users. Hitting that active boundary forces the solo founder to abandon low-value volume and adopt a high-ticket, low-volume business model. The traditional playbook of endless user growth is a mathematical trap for a developer working alone. True operational independence is built entirely on hyper-niche value and intentional, restricted scale.